Two emails landed on the same day. One, what is the lowest price you can get me on a 7-night Virgin Voyages sailing? The other, they took the perfect cruise quiz and they asked, is this even the right ship or cruise line for us? One of those people ends up thrilled, and the other ends up posting in a Facebook group or in a Reddit thread about everything that went wrong. Spoiler, the one to ask about price is the one that's complaining. Hey there, everybody. This is Cam DeJong, your host of the Know Where You Want to Go travel podcast. And I want to be very clear today that the cheapest cruise is almost always the most expensive mistake a sailor can make. Price is the only number that's easy to compare, and I totally get that. The internet has trained us to compare prices on everything with deal trackers. I found it cheaper post. It's an entire sport of who can save more money than their neighbor, their friend, or just somebody else on the internet. But price is just a proxy, and it's a bad one at that. It tells you what something costs, not whether it is worth it to you. Full disclosure, I'm a travel advisor, and I get paid when you book with me. So hear everything after this with that in mind, and then go check my math. So when it comes to what price hides, when it comes to a Virgin Voyage, there are four things. There's a quadrant, a spine, a box, a square. There's four sides to this square. And those are going to be fit, cabin location, fare tier, and having a human in your corner. Let's start with fit. The cheapest sailing is a bad deal if it's the wrong ship, the wrong vibe, or the wrong itinerary for how you travel. As we talked about in episode 36, which was the episode before this, we had the perfect cruise quiz. We have the perfect cruise quiz in place to help ensure that sailors are choosing the right cruise ship. Or even if cruising is correct for them to begin with, it might not be. So it's important that you find that you're going to the right destinations, that you're getting on the right ship, that everything matches up. Because if it's not the right fit, it doesn't matter what the price is, how low it is. If you don't enjoy the time, you're not going to care how much you pay for it at that point, because any amount would have been too much for you. Second, cabin location. The cheapest cabin is cheap for a reason. You could be under the pool deck, over in a nightclub, have an obstructed view, etc. Those sailors that come back and sail again with Virgin Voyages had an assigned cabin. They oftentimes want that same cabin time and again because they enjoyed it so much, because they know that the right location has value to it. Number three, fare tier. The lowest fare strips out flexibility. That means no refunds, no cabin assignment, no future voyage credit, no name changes, restricted dining reservation access 15 days in advance versus 45, 60, or 120 days with other fare types, and then basic Wi-Fi on Virgin Voyages. The cheapest fare is not the best value for most sailors. So it's important to look at this not through the lens of what is the cheapest for me, but what is it that I can put into my budget and put towards this trip to ensure that I have a good, or even more importantly, a great time. And then having a human in your corner. You can go to consolidator websites online and find lower prices, and they're going to be missing a lot of things. There's going to be a lot of asterisks there that you need to look at, and that could be the gratuities missing. We bundle that in when we give you a price quote, which we don't generally quote, but I would say when we send you a link to look at current Virgin Voyages pricing, it's going to have gratuities included. Is it a base rate? Is it a lock-in rate? What is it you're looking at? Because when you look at rates on consolidator websites, you're going to see something that looks amazing until you book it and realize that you don't know who you're talking to or working with. And that's a shame, because it's so important to have that human connection. Because if an itinerary changes or something comes up before you leave for the trip outside of the cruise, it's important to have somebody in your corner. And when you book through a third-party website, that's not always going to happen for you. So it's important that, you find these things and understand that there are additional opportunities sometimes. An example is someone that, if they would have booked through a third party, a consolidator, a major operator, I should say, they would have not been able to use their My Next Virgin Voyage certificate. They wouldn't have known or been able to stack their resident discount or their military or first responder discount to that. Those are things that a good first mate will help you with, and you might end up saving more money than you would have paid somewhere else with just those discounts alone. But it is important to have that human element. So you look at some other areas that have cashback and rebate booking sites, and sometimes it's a kickback from a first mate, which is totally against the rules of Virgin Voyages. And I know when I explain that to sailors, some of them will say, "Oh no, that's terrible." But ultimately, you shouldn't care. You know, it's your vacation, you want the savings. But think about that. If someone's taking money, whether it's out of their own commission or maybe it's from another sailor that they're going to pull commission from or whatever it might be, to help you, what are they taking from you to help somebody else? That's not me accusing anybody of doing anything. That's me saying that if Peter is robbing Paul to pay Mary, well, you get the point. The rebates, the price that you pay to kind of go away. They give you that, and then you're not going to get that support. And you're going to be calling a call center and be on hold for a while for that. So just be careful there when it comes to someone offering you that better price. I can save you 600, 1,000, whatever dollars. There's a string attached to that. You might never see it because you might have an expectation that, or you might not have an expectation, I should say. And that's very important to understand because it happens a lot. And most tour operators, most cruise lines, most everything disqualifies that and says it's not, that first mates or travel agents are not allowed to do so, but they do it. And if they're breaking those rules, and you can say again, oh, well, they're breaking the rule for me. Well, if they're breaking the rule for you, they're breaking the rule for somebody else. And ultimately, that rule is going to come around and it's going to not be a good thing. So we got to be careful there and do things the right way and have integrity. So when we look at these things and you find things like, a lower price, for me, the fare is the fare. What you find on virginvoyages.com, for example, is what we charge. We don't charge more than that. We charge that price. And you typically will still book through Virgin Voyages with our link. So when you look at things and really look at the comparison of who's the cheapest, that's really the wrong comparison. The right comparison is who's going to be there when it counts? Who's going to help with that hotel the night before? Who's going to give the advice not to fly into the port of Miami or into the Miami or Fort Lauderdale airport the day of the cruise? Who's going to help with flights? Who's going to be able to be there again when it counts? You're not shopping for a price. You're really choosing who has your back. So when we look at what should be optimized, it's not price, it's the fit. Is Virgin Voyages the right fit for you? Is sailing out of Miami, Barcelona, Athens, Seattle, Vancouver, Los Angeles, New York, San Juan, which of those, if any, is the right fit for you? And then the cabin. Is it a Rockstar cabin that's a great fit? Is it something you save up more for and you budget for a later trip? Or is it the Central Sea Terrace where you've never sailed on a cruise ship before and you're not sure about the comfort level, seasickness, etc.? Getting into that Central Sea Terrace or regular Sea Terrace, which can be amazing when we book far enough in advance. We can put you close to center and save you some money there. It's all of those things that are important. The fare tier. Are you understanding of the importance of having dining reservations in advance? It's not just that you have dining reservations, it's just one less stressor for you. So if you book a premium or a Rockstar fare, you're going to have a head start on most other sailors when it comes to dining reservations. Very important there to have that in mind. And then support. If something comes up, a itinerary changes, an excursion changes, who do you want to work on that for you? Do you want to be self-reliant, which is totally fine, or do you want a first mate that will take care of it with you and for you? So again, that cheapest trip you never fully enjoyed is always going to be the most expensive one. The right trip is the one that you would book again, and that's the deal for you. Let me be very, very clear as we close. Budget is real. I understand that. We budget in our household. My business budgets, but optimizing for value is not the same thing as spend more. Sometimes the right answer may be the lower fare or the inside cabin when it fits you, when it fits the trip. The point is fit first, not point first. And sometimes the honest answer is that Virgin is not even your cruise line, and that's okay. There are some that would prefer Princess, that would prefer Holland America, Cunard, Oceania, Carnival. There's so many other cruise lines. There's over 60 cruise lines in the world to choose from. And just because Virgin comes up in a conversation, just because you see on Facebook that Virgin's a great cruise line, does not necessarily mean it's a fit for you. And if the price is higher than you want to pay, then it may not be a fit for you for the experience that others have had. So keep that in mind. So, in real closing, I promise, do not start with price, start with fit. Take our perfect cruise quiz, as we mentioned in a prior episode, and it tells you and us where to begin. Keep being awesome. Thank you so much for tuning into this podcast. I'm here for you if you're looking to sail Virgin Voyages or if you're looking to travel in general. I want to continue to offer insights that are helpful to you. And I appreciate you following my adventures here on the Know Where You Want to Go Travel podcast. And I wish you all the best for a wonderful travel season as we head into summer soon. Thank you so much.